That is a KTM 390 Adventure, and today we found out it can adventure. G'day Burrito crew, welcome back. This is the KTM 390 Adventure. I've been very lucky now to have this for a couple of days. Today we find ourselves out the back of Condobolin, part of God's country. Absolutely awesome, about 720 k's today. Most of it on dirt, which has been very lucky. And so far it's been fun. That's the best way to put it. I'm gonna put my muffin down because it's the last one I got and I gotta look after it. This is fun. It's for a quick rundown, if you haven't seen the Enduro video of the 390, same kind of deal, low exhaust, which is paired with a off-center rear shock. Once again, that component's interesting. We'll talk about that more later. Ladder style chassis, which houses the LC4 motor. Once again, we'll get into that a little bit later. Pretty much the same body, except for obviously the tower. That's the big difference for this bike. The brakes are the same. I feel the suspension's the same, but the tower is the big overarching difference. It houses a tablet in there, which has kind of got a lot more in it for tunability with the bike. And obviously the visor for those road sections. Spoiler alert though, however, if you're anything over about 6 foot, that doesn't really work very well. You still kind of get the buffering, but it's still a great option. The suspension on this bike, very much like the other bike, the Enduro, very, very soft. You'll need to send it away to whoever you want. I mean, I recommend Stellar On Point because he just knows all about this kind of suspension, KTM, WP stuff. So spoke to him a little bit. There's a lot of kind of ways you can tune this to make it better. So definitely something you're gonna have to do. The ECU, exactly the same as the Enduro. I believe it's for emissions, but it's just very underpowered. There seems to be a lot in it, and if you toggle between the street and the off-road mode, you actually can feel the difference. Especially street, the acceleration is a lot better compared to off-road, so I'm not too sure why that is, but that's all a part of it. And then the big one, which really kind of affected me today, was once again, there's no plastics here because the exhaust finishes so low. You can't mount anything here. There's no saddlebags. I could not get anything onto here. So I tried to even mount something at the top and strap it, but because of the taper on your rear guard, it was not possible to actually get it secure. It just kept sliding back. So I know some internet boffin out there will be like, oh, you just got to do this, or you got to do that. I don't know what to do. It was late last night before I made the decision to come here. So here we are. So I've got everything on my back, which is not an issue. But when you think of this bike and you go, okay, this is, I think, change for 15 grand, I'm not too sure. You still have to go spend money on it. And for me, I mean, I like the idea of you buying a bike and be able to enjoy it for what it is. This bike, you can, but don't expect to go anywhere unless you can pick it in a backpack. If you can pack it in a backpack, you're sorted. If you can't, you're gonna have to buy the frames. Now I know companies like B&B, things like that do it, because obviously you're gonna need a bash plate, B&B, maybe some other little guards as well, because everything's so low, it gets smashed. I mean, I haven't ridden this log yet, but everything seems to be so low, especially exhaust. So to pair a bash plate from B&B and some actual frames is gonna have to be the only way to be able to travel with anything. Outside that though, the bike is a lot of fun. I mean, I've now taken it really everywhere, from the dirt to road to kind of flowy fence lines to really deep red sand here, which is why I've stopped in this particular location. And it's fun. I mean, the bike does need a bit of tuning, which obviously you have to send to Rex at Fuel Talk or whoever your ECU tuner is, just to kind of play with it a little bit, get rid of those emissions, those pesky greenhouse gases. But it's a lot of fun as it is. It hasn't let me down. It's kind of kept up with what I want to do and how comfortable I'm feeling. I do believe that it could be an awesome light adventure bike. I think this could be the one over the 450. And to be very honest, and if you can be honest, this would be a more fun adventure bike than an 890 or a 701 or something like that. And I know people are going to be like, no, the 890 can do this because Chris Birch can ride it up that, and Robbie Nowak can ride it at a hard enduro. Okay, I get it. But you're not that person. I'm not that person. This here, if you're going to do what I'm doing today, is fun. It's safe, it's fun. There'll be a couple little videos probably now of mad head shake that I got on this, and it was light and fun enough that I could pull it up and not have any dramas. If I'd done that when I was riding the 701, I would almost likely have met Jesus today. So for me, if you can be honest and you know that this is what you want to do, you want to be out here in the Australian bush riding fence lines, chasing dirt road, hitting a bit of fun singles when you just see it on the side of the road, this bike. This is the one. Yep, there is the DRs, there is the, what else we got? The CF Moto 450s, the Hondas. Yeah, I get it. Those bikes are great. But this one, I just feel works. And I know you're going to have to spend some more money, maybe 3 to 4 grand, maybe, but it will work. And I guarantee you this is a lot more fun than an 890 because you can do a lot more with this. Yes, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but seriously, ride it out here, ride it to anywhere, you know, like ride this through the Blue Mountains if you're in Sydney, ride this up to the Glass House if you're in Brisbane, Adelaide. I don't even know where you're in Adelaide, but do it in Adelaide. This is just a lot of fun, and for me, this is probably better than the Enduro, and I love the Enduro because I felt it was a good mix between. This one, way better. It has that ability to ride in the city, which we've done, and now out here, and still be a lot of fun. There's obviously the brakes are some no-name brand, I'm not too sure. The chassis, because it is that lattice style frame, is very rigid, but I guess it has to house everything, and because you're going to get a lot of weight on it, it does work, and it does make it a lot rideable. But the issue that I had, especially when I was here in some of the deep sand, because that tank situation is so big and when your sitting position is not as far forward as I'd like, it does mean the front will tuck because you just can't get your weight. Like I'm trying to, like, you know, drop nut into the fuel tank. That's how much I'm trying to get that weight to the front, and it just wasn't working. So for me, you could ride it aggressively, and I mean, I know probably Chucky, you get on this thing and rip and win Dakar. Like, that's just who he is. But for me, it was just not there. And these Midas tires were great, they really helped, but you're definitely gonna have to play with the suspension, try and kind of figure out weight, because it was just myself on the bike today, and there was a couple of sections where on high speed dirt, the front just got really super light, and when I was trying to sit back, and I think even though there's a lot of weight in the front, it could still get unbalanced quite easily. As I said, the exhaust is quite low, and now we've taken it through some really deep river crossings. I think we're almost up to the bottom of the radiator at some points. Oh no, we're even over that. Sorry, disregard that. We were over the radiator. We're about, yeah, up top here. And it was concerning, but it was a hard bottom, and we were able to keep the power going. I'm not too sure if you were to drop it and it stalls and it goes on its side, what would happen. Because the exhaust is so low, and then the header pipe is low too, whoops, it may play havoc with it. So I'm not too sure how that's gonna go, but at the same time, any bike that you drop in the water and you lay it on its side is gonna suck in water. I just not a big fan if you just stall it and it's down as far. But horses for courses, that's just how this bike is made. Once again, the brakes, super soft, but you could probably tune that with a good mechanic. This one didn't overheat, but once again, I'm not riding it like the Enduro bike. It was all just big open road stuff today, fence lines, things like that. Bars and the whole cockpit setup is great. Connect your phone up, do all that kind of fun things and go through all the modes and the maps and the whatever you want. If you're a tech person, you'll love it. As I've mentioned, the screen though, it's good. It just, because I was maybe a bit tall for it, I'm not too sure. Maybe if you're over 6 foot, you're gonna have a bit of drama with it because it just seems to cut the air right into your face, which is not a good thing. And really, that's all I can really tell you about the bike. It's fun, and it's good. So if you want to put it all into a nice little present to give to someone, this is a fun and good bike. English is obviously my first language. And after all that, I have to say massive thanks to ADB Magazine. Go check them out. Obviously, they've been going for so long now. And thanks for trusting me with these bikes. I hope to get a few more soon. So if you have any bikes you want us to test, send us a message and I'll see what I can do. KTM Australia as well for trusting me, especially taking it all the way out here by myself, which is a lot of fun. Solo traveling, get around it. And thank you as well to my partner for some dope muffins. Like the video, subscribe, all that kind of goosey, cringy stuff, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.